Going on, Seb? Thank you for having me. Super excited to be here.
We can see your
Awesome. Awesome to see
screen.
so many little gathered Tom buddies in the audience. This is pretty cool.
Awesome, go for it.
Cool. Your point of view has value. This point of view is your story, the unique connecting points that represent you through time. But by engaging in Web 2, your story, your very identity, is not in your control. Welcome to SPIDR, a gamified search and discovery network powered by people. Web 2 search and recommendation platforms monetize your online identity by harvesting, indexing, and storing your interest data. These platforms win by selling your personal data to private marketplaces, where your identity is bought with a price. SPIDR changes the game by flipping marketplace incentives in favor of people-powered data. We believe that the value of open markets, the free exchange of ideas, goods, and services, should be governed, owned, and controlled by the people. SPIDR will power future-forward marketplace experiences by uniting people and communities through shared values of interest. We call this people-powered curation network the web. At the center of SPIDR are PIDs, what we call permaweb IDs. PIDs are Arweave DataFi applications composed of an atomic NFT, permaweb app, and SmartWeave contract. Permaweb IDs aim to be a permanent and non-transferable identification layer that secures your self-identified on-chain interest. Your interests, curations, and reputations have value. With SPIDR, this value is in the form of self-sovereign data. Any user-owned asset, such as a blockchain token, NFT, POAP, or credential, can be added as an interest to your Permaweb ID. To add an interest to your Permaweb ID, simply stake an interest token plus PST to your PID. This liquidity pool pair will then be added to SPIDR's index, our decentralized exchange of interests. When all interest tokens have been staked to your PID, your web has been formed. As an Arweave DataFi app, your web page can be securely updated and shared at any time. As your interests change, so can your web. Your web's interest can expand into curated categories called nests. You can think of nests as compound interests. Nests can be infinitely composed together, providing an interactive pathway for users to discover your interests. When a user likes one of your interests, they can stake that interest to their own web, earning you points for your views. All attention is tracked by SPIDR's index, gamifying the search and discovery experience. SPIDR's index will act as an automated market maker that measures the views that your web page receives cross-network. This automated market maker will then programmatically distribute points in proportion to your web's accrued views. At scale, this decentralized exchange of interest will serve as a prediction market, connecting and incentivizing users based on shared interest. We believe that this advancement is the beginning of a people-powered search and recommendation engine, powered by Arweave's Permaweb. So let's talk about a quick roadmap ahead. SPIDR will realize the potential for Arweave's composable DataFi architecture. We will use first principles modeling to break down the build process into phases of 3, each with its own utility within the market. In phase 1, we will build out the SPIDR DataFi dApp. Here we'll focus on SPIDR as a single-player experience that brings utility in the form of gated access to Discord, leveraging Discord's Web3 footprint for user onboarding. The second phase of SPIDR will add multiplayer navigation, allowing users to discover a network of interest that can be added to their webs. In phase 3, we'll launch Search, SPIDR's own decentralized gateway on Arweave. When all 3 phases are in sync, the SPIDR OS will be born. SPIDR OS will be a cross-chain composable protocol that incentivizes other communities to integrate and build upon SPIDR's operating system. All right, cool. Let's jump into the demo. So here we're looking at a prototype of the SPIDR user interface. So SPIDR is a gamified search and discovery experience. We want gameplay to be playful, intuitive, and to create a user experience that is approachable to anyone starting their crypto journey. This user interface is built in WebXR, meaning it's cross-compatible with desktop, mobile, virtual reality, and augmented reality in the future. The goal of SPIDR is to earn points for your web views. These points of views are PST tokens needed to unlock user-controlled experiences. With this theme, players can change their point of view, their perspective of play. Here we're looking at web view. Once there's a critical mass of users, one can imagine navigating the web and staking other people's interests to your web, where they receive points for their web views. Here's web view from a macro perspective. Each web represents a single point of view. Imagine these points interconnected together via relatable interests. This becomes the foundation for SPIDR's on-chain recommendation engine, a people-powered prediction market made possible by SPIDR's index. Now is where it gets really interesting. So with WebXR, we can step inside the web into an immersive metaverse worldview. Once inside worldview, we can literally explore people's interests through their perspective, through their points of view. This uniting of people through minimum viable interests is not economically possible in Web 2 today. With the advent of Arweave, the permaweb, and the whole Arweave ecosystem, we have an opportunity and a chance in time to create a people-powered perspective today. This is our point of view. Meet me in the mingle, and I'd love to show you a preview of what this world view looks like after. So just quickly about me, I'm Ryan, aka Voices of Him. I'm a beatboxer, an artist, creative technologist. And for the last 17 years, I've basically tried to mix magic with communities, doing some really interesting projects with varied results. Through Open Web Foundry, I found new community, new purpose, and a new family. And together we'll build this new web. I just want to say thank you to all my friends and family out in the ecosystem. And this idea may seem like a mission to Mars, but because of the architecture and the things that have been built out on top of Arweave, this idea is possible and the time is now. So this is just my point of view, and all are welcome. Thanks, guys.